What's up, YouTube? Jim Comics here. The Disney Plus series I Am Groot dropped recently, and I watched all 5 shorts in a matter of 30 minutes. The series isn't groundbreaking, as most Marvel series seem to be stuck in mediocrity, but it certainly was adorable and, considering its short length, easily consumable. Here is my ranking of all 5 of these shorts, following Baby Groot. Before we start though, remember to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on the series down below. Coming in dead last for me has to be The Little Guy. The problem that this short suffers from is by far its dark nature. All of these shorts are dark in some way or another, and considering that this is a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, that makes much sense. However, this short doesn't really have any redeemable qualities to cancel that out, nor does it feature any cute moments from Groot himself. It starts off with Groot creating a little tower for himself out of sticks on a desert planet. A bird-like alien attacks him and steals his structure, only to be scooped up by a passing alien hawk. Groot then rages for 3 hours, I think 3 hours, it might have been 20 minutes or something, but I don't know, it was an amount of time, which wasn't cute by the way, and then stumbles upon a civilization of tiny creatures whom he tries to attack. They start fighting back, Groot farts out a leaf, and they start praising him. So Groot goes on to get a bunch of leaves from a bush. When he runs back towards them, however, he accidentally crushes them and the short ends. Dark humor is not a bad thing by any means, but when there is no real point to it and I wasn't really entertained, it makes for a pretty bad short. Also, little civilization is shown to not have died, but still it's such a dark concept that isn't really funny. Plus, the planet Groot's on isn't that visually impressive either. In 4th place is the short Groot's Pursuit. This short wasn't as bad as the last one, but it's still not that entertaining. The story is very straightforward, with Groot encountering a water-morphing alien on the Collector's Quadrant ship. They get into a dance-off until Groot opens the ship's seal and sends the alien flying into space. This is an example of acceptable dark humor, as the water monster isn't portrayed as innocent necessarily, and Groot was pretty horrified by it. Groot has a couple of cute moments in this short as well, such as him reading a magazine on the toilet with his little legs dangling, or him strapping a smartwatch, voiced by James Gunn, onto his head like a headlight. One of the problems with this episode is that the animation is kind of bad, the CGI, which I mean it's not great for any of these shorts, but it's really bad in this episode. But the real problem with this episode is just its utter simplicity. There isn't much deviation in the story, and it's a short I remember the least details about. However, the short as a whole is generally positive. Dead in the middle of the ranking is Groot Takes a Bath. This short starts off with Groot discovering a puddle on a jungle planet and bathing in it. He then realizes that he grows leaves when he applies mud to his body, so starts doing so and making noise. This wakes up a squirrel bird creature that attacks him, indirectly making Groot lose his leaves. In retaliation, Groot shaves the creature's hair off and wears it like a scarf while the creature shivers in its hole in the tree. The standout part of this short was finding out that Groot can grow leaves all around him. It's a weird ability to have and it's kinda useless, but at least this short gave us some new information about Groot's power set. Additionally, Groot was cute when he was making different hair and clothing styles out of his leaves, including what looked like a callback to Belle from Beauty and the Beast. This episode is generally alright, but just doesn't stack up to the top 2 on this ranking. Our runner-up is Groot's First Steps, the only short to concretely take place before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This short sees a potted baby Groot get cared for by robots on the Milano, but when they start caring for a bonsai instead, he gets jealous and knocks it over. Both Groot and the bonsai's pots break and Groot discovers his feet and takes his first steps. Groot then attempts to care for the dying bonsai. I find this short to be the most plot relevant to the MCU, as it shows us the moment where Groot learned how to walk, an actual event, while the rest of the shorts just show us scenarios generally disconnected from the Guardians films. Groot is adorable in this short with his little squabble with a non-sentient plant, and how he cares for it after its pot breaks. Potted Groot didn't have much time on display in the MCU, only really appearing in Guardians Volume 1, so it was nice to see that version of Groot again, and overall it was just a pleasant short that helps fill in the gap on a mostly irrelevant detail between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2. But coming in at number 1 is Magnum Opus. This short is the only one to really feature the Guardians of the Galaxy, or at least a Guardian of the Galaxy, and Groot is in his most innocent form here. In this episode, Groot creates a glitter bomb inside the Guardian ship and blows it up. Rocket comes to help him and almost gets sucked into a hole in the ship until Groot saves him. Seeing Bradley Cooper as Rocket again was a surprise that I didn't expect, and seeing his parental relationship with Groot on display was really cute. Groot also did harmony living creatures in this short, which automatically earns it more points in my book than the others. Groot's drawing of the Guardians was also adorable, and reminds me of the drawing of the Avengers in Spider-Man Homecoming's opening scene with the Vulture. Additionally, Drax can be seen showering in the background while Groot steals his soap to make his bomb, which is funny and something that I honestly did not anticipate the audience would see in this show, Drax showering. This episode had the perfect amount of Groot's innocence, cuteness, and camaraderie of the other Guardians of the Galaxy that it comes in at the number 1 spot in my personal ranking of the I Am Groot shorts. Thanks for watching. For more Marvel and superhero news, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on the I Am Groot shorts, and even your own personal ranking of them. JM Comics, out.
When you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright.